Hello and welcome to this NCFE Speaking, Listening and Communication short recording. The aim of this session is to provide an overview of the processes, administration and further support for NCFE SLC assessments. Firstly, how the speaking, listening and communicating looks at a glance. So you can see that each level has two sections, and these sections can be done on different days. So for example, you may do the short talk on a Monday and the discussion on another day or the following week. For level 1, we have a short talk with a question and answer session, and that's followed by a group discussion. At level 2, this is a presentation with a question and answer and a group discussion. Entry level 1 is a one-to-one with the assessor and a one-to-one discussion with the assessor. For entry level 2, this is a one-to-one discussion and a group discussion. And for entry level 3, this is a question and answer session and a group discussion. At entry level 3, this would be in response to a short talk with the learners participating in a question and answer session for around 5 to 10 minutes. So in September 2023, the SLC was updated, so let's have a look at what those changes are. So this includes centres being able to devise their own tasks, but they must comply with the information and guidance provided in the guidance document. Topics used for practice assessments must not be used for live assessments. The learners must be given the opportunity to plan and prepare for assessment. We don't give any recommended time frame so long as the learner is given sufficient time to research and plan as required. Centres may use NCFE exemplar tasks, but must not alter the overall level of demand. These exemplar tasks are found in the qualification pages for each of the specific levels, and they are in the assessment section under Assessor Instructions and Guidance. However, I will be showing this on a later slide. And learners must demonstrate achievement against all subject content statements. So now let's have a look at the administration documents that your EQA would want to see. So they would like to see the learner observation and assessment record form, evidence of the activity, any preparation notes, they should be attached to the learner assessment record form, a completed tracking document, evidence of internal quality assurance reports, and one recording per assessor, per level, per academic session. So an academic session is running from the 1st of August to the 31st of July. So evidence and feedback. So assessors must complete the learner observation assessment record form to document the learner's performance. All sections of the form must be completed and relevant subject content statements achieved should be ticked, and the learner must achieve against each subject content statement to pass. Assessors must use the comment box to summarise the learner's overall performance by using short statements and quotations to show how the learner has met each of the criteria. The learner forms must also be completed within 2 weeks of the assessment taking place and then stored securely for sampling by the external quality assurer. So to achieve a pass, learners must generally meet the requirements of the grading descriptions for the level consistently, effectively and to an appropriate degree for that level. Learners who have not achieved a pass can resit. However, the learners should be provided with feedback outlining clear actions on how to improve. And before the learner resits this component, further teaching and learning opportunities should be provided. So here is an example of the learner observation form, and you can see that these have the generic information, then they have task 1 activity with the assessor comment, and then task 2. There are also assessor notes that follow this, and we do have exemplars for each level, so going from entry level 1 all the way to level 2 on the websites in each of the qualification level areas. Next, we have the tracking document. So NCFE have provided a tracking document. However, if you use your own tracker, you must make sure that it contains all the fields from the NCFE tracker. You need to send the tracker to your designated EQA a minimum of 2 weeks before the planned EQA visit, and this will support with the planning of the visit. And the designated person will need to ensure information is gathered from the assessor to track the assessment. So I mentioned earlier before, on the NCFE website, you also have access to example tasks should you wish to use them or to get ideas. And you can see an example here. So you have the scenario, and then you have 3 bullet points. Learners would only choose one of the bullet points to do their presentation on. So here you can see where you would find the documentation. So you would go into the assessment materials, and then if you scroll down and go to internal assessment guidance, and then you have a list of all those useful documents, including the tracking document and the exemplars. Here is an example of a completed form. So you can see here at the top that they've ticked to achieve, and then you can see in the comment box that they have a mixture of quotations as well as a summary on how the learner achieved each of the subject content. So if you're using NCFE exemplars or your own centre device scenarios and tasks, make sure that the learner only covers one bullet point. The EQAs are sometimes finding on visits that learners are trying to cover all 3 bullet points. The learners only need to do one of the bullet points, and then this would allow for another question to maybe be used in the same topic area if it was needed for a resit. So you can see here on the screen, you've got the scenario. So this is an example for level 1, and then they would just choose one of the bullet points. Here you can see an example for level 2. So you'd provide the learner with scenario and topic questions, and the learner should choose just one question, so one of the bullet points. So on this slide, I put some screenshots of where you can find useful information on preparing for quality assurance, whether that be an EQA review or an annual monitoring review. So if you go to the NCFE website and go to qualifications, you'll get a drop down which says, and if you click on preparing for quality assurance, if you click on preparing for quality assurance, you will get further options such as annual monitoring reports, external quality assurance review. So hopefully that will help when you come to prepare for your EQA visit. So this is an example of the preparing for an external quality assurance visit. So if you click on that link, it will take you to this page, and further down the page you can see you've got some further drop downs such as registering your learners, booking your reviews, plan for your reviews. So you've got a whole host of useful information. So any questions, please let us know. And I've got some contact details on this slide. So thank you for listening, and I hope you found this useful. Thank you.